Salina Cruz. You may have noticed in my last two videos that the footage looked different. That's because I'm using my Plan B camera, which is an old Canon PowerShot SD980IS. I only know that because I'm looking at it right now. So yeah, I was previously using a Sony CX405 camcorder, which I loved because it had 60 times zoom, 30 times optical, and then another 30 of digital zoom. Great image stabilization, which was great for on the bicycle, and it was just generally very easy to use. I dropped it at least probably like a dozen times or something. It eventually gave out. I'm not sure why. After 7 months of nearly daily usage, so I'm in the market for a new camera because mine isn't working. So I'm going to check out what I can find in terms of an old school method of shopping, stores. First place I'm going to try is Bodega Oaxaca. Been in one of these before. It's like a big grocery store plus, and I believe I'd seen electronics, so give it a shot. Pretty sure these are all cheap Chinese GoPro knockoffs. Never been in one of these before, but from what I can tell, clothes, furniture, appliances, electronics. So I'll give it a look. Get yourself some reliable Hyundai memory cards. Extra horsepower. A few models I'm familiar with. This is like a more recent version of what I'm shooting on right now. RCA camcorders. A little bit doubtful about that, but might do some research. More cheap action cameras. Bigger Sony camera. And a Nikon. Worth to maybe do research on these models. Maybe. Looks like a place that might have cameras. So they do have cameras. Best of all, my baby. The camera I had before. The exact same camera I had before. They had it there for $250, so maybe a little bit more expensive than it would typically would be, at least in Canada. But not a horrible price. But I'm still going to check out a few more places. A place that I'm familiar with, Office Max and Walmart, where I bought mine previously in Canada. The Walmart in my town had getting rid of their camera, so I got it for $90 actually, but that was kind of an anomaly. Let's see what's in store. Office Max didn't have anything, but it seems like it would actually be a decent price for a GoPro here. Hero 5, so let's do some research on that. Alright, so what I think it's going to come down to is either the Canon PowerShot ELPH 180, which was 2,900 pesos, the GoPro Hero Session 5, which I believe was 3,300 pesos, and the Sony CX405 Handycam, which was what I was using before. So, time for a bit of research. It was kind of a quick disqualification because the optical image stabilization reportedly not amazing, and it only shot up to 720p. And ultimately, I decided to get the GoPro Hero 5 Session.
Here are some of the reasons why. Starting with the less important ones, I get to get rid of my cheap action camera. It was just kind of taking up space, and that wasn't great quality. Another reason is that ultimately, well, even though my Sony camcorder went through a lot, it did eventually stop working. So I'm not sure why it stopped working. Maybe because of the heat and humidity of where I am, and it's only going to get hotter and more humid where I'm going. So that was one of the factors, because GoPros are known for their durability and stuff like that. So I'm thinking maybe that would be a good idea. Another reason, maybe one of the main reasons, is because of the GoPro's small size. It's very discreet, so very good in crowds to it's small to the point where people might not even notice that you're holding a camera when filming or stuff like that. So that's a really big plus for me, as well as that it can shoot up to 4K. So maybe in the future, if 4K gets widely adopted, I could start using that. But for now, I think I'll keep shooting at 1080p, 60 frames per second. And yeah, so the GoPro Hero 5 Session, that's the first one that has digital image stabilization, so not optical, so not the best image stabilization, but it does have some, which will be useful. And the only kind of con is that it has very, well, not very low, but relatively low battery life. So about an hour and a half of shooting before the battery is done, and you have to recharge the battery, the camera. You can't have spare batteries. But I think for me, the way that I shoot, I don't just leave it running for long periods of time. I really pick my shots, so I think I'll be okay for that. And another good reason is that it's for in the future, it's kind of a good investment. If I want to get a really good camera, then that one can serve as a really good secondary camera.
And here it is. Pretty small camera. Take it out of that mount, and it doesn't need a case to go underwater, which is pretty neat. It's a pretty good deal. It's about 220 Canadian dollars. It's actually a liquidation price. Electronics in Mexico are usually more expensive because they have to get imported. So it's usually like 5,000 pesos. Alright, so the plan for the day: take the camera back to the hotel room, set it up, and then go check out Salina Cruz and the beach to test it out, get some footage, edit some video, make sure everything's going good before I hit back the road. But first, priority is gotta get something to eat. Sam's Cafe is first. Decent sized burger. Camera that I was using during this video. Now I'm going to switch to the new one. Here's the new one. Hopefully that's an improvement. You guys can let me know what you think. I'm really happy that I was decisive. I think maybe this trip, just in general, is kind of help you making faster decisions. I think before the trip, it was something I would have taken a week to pull the trigger on. But yeah, glad I got it done. It seems to be working well. And I also made a separate full video of checking out Salina Cruz. So you want to see more of the footage, and I guess hopefully if everything goes well in my upcoming videos, we'll be using this camera as well. And yeah, so I was here as part of my bicycle tour from Canada to Argentina. If you want to see where I went and what I did, check out my website, followthehumpoftheearth.com, and you can subscribe to my channel to continue to follow my adventures. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.